Hi guys, we are looking at the words quiconque and quelconque. So firstly, chances are you've read these and gone, yeah, whatever. Which is interesting because they're kind of to do with the whole whoever, whichever, whatever thing. Chances are you've used other words up until now to achieve that point. So we're just kind of looking at them, how they work, how they relate to things like n'importe qui, n'importe quel, plus a noun, n'importe quoi, all right? Quoi que ce soit, all this kind of general ambiguous territory of not naming specific people or specific things. That's the kind of area that we're having a wade through. So I really think with some grammar in French, it's really important to just get increasingly familiar. Yeah, increasingly familiar. Make sure that these words are coming out of your mouth. Make sure that you're using them, but not to worry too much on this one. This isn't like me saying you've got to know the difference between je suis allé and j'ai mangé, for example. This is me just saying, let me introduce you to these words. Just get a feel for them in the sense, because we want to be a bit more organic with this kind of thing. Right, so let's have a look. So quiconque, first of all. QUI, same word, CONQUE. Same word, okay, quiconque. One word, not two. I have previously done a video on sort of whoever, whichever, whatever, and I will link that underneath, but this is a little bit, I don't think I included the conch stuff in that deliberately, because it just normally scares people. So, a lot of notes today. So quiconque can function in a, it can do a verb. It can do a verb. So for example, whoever criticizes my videos, will have a problem. Quiconque critique mes vidéos aura un problème. So quiconque there, it's kind of like saying celui qui critique mes vidéos, the one who criticizes my video, okay? But when you're saying celui, you're being specific. You're saying which guy? Oh, the one who criticizes my video. So we've got this general whoever. We're not actually naming a person. It's open to possibilities of who it might be. It's open, we don't know when we're saying that. Yeah, so quiconque parle avec Luc sera très content. Whoever speaks with Luke will be very happy. Okay? Yeah, so what examples have we got? Quiconque mange ici sera malade. Word reference gives you whoever eats here will be sick. So at the moment, we're not mentioning a person specifically. We're keeping it open to all people. Yeah, quiconque fait whatever it might be, sera whatever it will be. Okay. Then we've got the idea of quiconque as an indirect pronoun. So basically coming after a preposition, for example. So in other words, not doing the verb, but coming after something on the end of another verb. So for example, it's forbidden to whoever. Il est interdit à quiconque. Yeah. And that way, then you can see that quiconque is being not doing the verb, but on the end of another verb. Okay. We'll come back to some examples later then. So far we can have quiconque before a verb, we can have quiconque after a preposition. All right, let's get to the notes. So you are sort of going with this idea of it doesn't matter who it is, you're not being specific. So for example, better than anyone, better than whoever. Okay, so he speaks better than whoever. Il parle mieux que quiconque. Okay. You need it in a vague way. You need it to be like better than whoever, which person you could kind of come up with. Okay. You might go, well, I think I've heard Luke like n'importe qui or qui que ce soit, which are correct and they have their place, but n'importe qui is a bit more throwaway, like don't care, n'importe qui. Yeah, okay. Who do you want to go and have a drink with tonight, Luke? N'importe qui, not bothered. Yeah, okay. And again, qui que ce soit is usable, like with whoever it might be. Okay. I'm not saying that one cannot be used there, but let's keep looking at quiconque. So he dances better than anybody. He danses better than the rest. He dances better than everybody. Il danse mieux que tout le monde. Il danse mieux que quiconque. He dances better than any other person you could possibly bring to me who dances, okay? I've got that tune in my head now. He's the greatest dancer. So you could say for example, qui que ce soit. Okay, but for my mind, like I've said, but quiconque in this context, although the subjunctive sounds quite formal, quiconque sounds a bit more formal. Okay, so that would be when you're using quiconque formally. All right. So what have we got from the internet? So je mets au défi quiconque de me contredire. So I basically challenge whoever to go against me, to contradict me. Je mets au défi qui que ce soit de me contredire. So again. Balanced. Qui que ce soit, probably slightly less formal than quiconque for my mind, all right? Qui que ce soit also can't be used before a verb. You can't, so you can say quiconque mange ici sera malade. Whoever eats here will be sick. You couldn't say qui que ce soit mange ici. I suppose in theory you could just about get away with qui que soit qui mange ici, but that's really odd. So quiconque can go straight up before a verb. So whoever does some stuff, straight away quiconque would be the perfect choice. All right. Yeah, so whoever eats here, qui que ce soit qui mange ici, in theory works, but like I said, it's just odd. Qui que ce soit mange ici wouldn't work, all right? Lovely. Quiconque, I find, often comes at the beginning, and you will often use qui que ce soit at the end of a phrase, whoever it might be, subjunctive. So for example, again, if you're watching this video and you don't know what SOIT is, go and watch the subjunctive videos. This is quite an advanced video. So for example, whoever does some stuff, whoever takes the train, quiconque prend le train, Whereas if I was sort of saying, I wouldn't say this to whoever, look, I'm going to tell you a little bit of information, but I wouldn't say it to whoever, just any old person, then for my mind there, qui que ce soit works quite nicely at the end. So there's a little bit of a bias with quiconque being at the beginning and qui que ce soit being at the end. But like I've said, you can use quiconque after a preposition. À quiconque, you could get away with it, all right? Good. And although I've said quiconque in some situations sounds formal, qui que ce soit at the beginning, it's ever so funny. It's kind of like qui que ce soit at the beginning sounds more formal, but qui que ce soit at the end sounds less formal. It's a hard one to sort of judge. But the point is, I just want you saying them, all right? Good. Let's use some examples then from, like I said, just typed it into Lingui, just typed it into Reverso, just type in the words, see what comes up, let's talk about how it works. So, so je pense pas, I need to make this larger for my eyes, je pense pas qu'une approche cas par cas, hang on, let me make it larger. I'm not sure if I've told you guys, but I'm having a few eye issues at the moment. So it makes life slightly easier, slightly difficult. Where are we? 1 second. That's better. So, je ne pense pas qu'une approche au cas par cas puisse servir les intérêts de quiconque. Je ne pense pas qu'une approche au cas par cas puisse servir les intérêts de quiconque. So I don't think that an approach case by case, je ne pense pas qu'une approche au cas par cas puisse, subjunctive, hypothetical, servir les intérêts de quiconque. Yeah, so I don't think, what's it translating it as? I don't believe that it serves anybody to take an approach on a case-by-case basis. So, je ne pense pas qu'une approche au cas par cas, I don't think that an approach going on case-by-case can serve the interests of whoever. So we've got it after de, yeah, we've got it after de. So again, like I said, you can use it after a preposition. Yeah, de quiconque, à quiconque. Quiconque demeure sur le territoire dans la commune plus de 6 mois est considéré. So, quiconque demeure, so whoever resides in the territory of the commune for more than 6 months is considered. Have they translated it? Every person who has lived in a municipality for a period more than 6 months shall be deemed to be whatever. So yes, again, then you've got it before a verb. Quiconque demeure, like whoever resides. I like Lingui, but it's gone ever so formal. I don't know where they're getting all the material from. Staff members are reminded that the submission of information on rappellera cependant que manquerait l'obligation d'entrée de quiconque en condition de... No, that's a bit of an odd one. Let's go down. Yeah. They know the work and its processes better than anybody else. Ils connaissent le travail et son déroulement mieux que quiconque. Dérouler is how it kind of unravels how things go on. So, ils connaissent le travail et son déroulement mieux que quiconque. So, like one of the ones I said, better than anybody. All right? So, again, you've got quiconque not doing the verb. You've got it after a que there. So, mieux que quiconque. Il danse mieux que quiconque. He dances better than anybody. So far, our big hitters are quiconque doing a verb, quiconque after a preposition like à ou de, or quiconque after a que. All right? Let's see if we can find one with another preposition. Good. To rule under God's mandate is to have the God-given sense of justice that is expected of anyone ruling on God's behalf. My gosh, I told you Lingui's gone a bit... I don't know where they're sourcing this stuff from. So, gouverner selon le mandat de Dieu, c'est avoir le sens de la justice donné par Dieu pour quiconque gouverne, for whoever governs. So, bit of a formal sentence, but the same thing. So, for whoever, pour quiconque, okay? Lovely, okay? See, this is really giving you this idea of just whichever person does this, okay? So what's nice there is you've got pour quiconque after the preposition pour and also doing a verb. So again, if we take anything out of this, qui que ce soit doesn't work quite so well before a verb for my mind, okay? Qui que ce soit, qui, yeah, good. Whoever decides, quiconque décide de recourir à des services de soutien aux patients doit y avoir accès. Quiconque décide de recourir à des services de soutien. So whoever decides to take recourse to patient support services should have access to it. How are they translating that? Patient support services must be available and accessible to those who choose them. Yeah, all right. C'est une chance qu'ils méritent plus que quiconque. Okay, so it's an opportunity that they deserve more than whoever, more than anybody. So in that case, it sounds like anybody, more than no matter who, more than no matter what person. Okay, anybody. If you said, who's going to come? Who do you want to dance with? Anybody, n'importe qui. Like I said earlier, that would be a throwaway n'importe qui. Okay, good. Finally, let's do one more. La terminologie aide quiconque souhaite communiquer clairement. So, la terminologie aide quiconque souhaite communiquer clairement. The terminology helps whoever wants to communicate clearly. That's a slightly better phrase, slightly more useful, isn't it? Thank you, Lingui, make note. So, terminology helps whoever, verb, souhaite, communiquer. Yeah, okay. Again, what else could we say? La terminologie aide ceux qui veulent, those who want, obviously, to communicate. So we're noticing so far then that quiconque would obviously take the verb form of a he or a she, all right? A third person singular. Quiconque emploie un enfant en âge de scolarité, whatever, whoever employs a child of school age. Lovely. Good. Let's try and find another one against with the preposition before it. Aucune mesure de représailles ne sera prise contre quiconque. Aucune mesure de représailles ne sera prise contre quiconque. No measure of retaliation will be taken against whoever. What have they said? No retaliatory action will be taken against anyone. Yeah, whoever's translation you prefer. Yeah, so quiconque. Aucune mesure de représailles ne sera prise contre quiconque, against whoever. So in overview then, so far, quiconque doing a verb, quiconque after a preposition, or mieux que quiconque, whatever. Okay, better than whoever. Good, let's go down to that one then, all right? So let's see, so we'll carry on. Let's see later on if that comes up again. Yeah, let's see if anything other than those three come up that's useful. Okay. Down, down, down. I don't need any more of that. Good. Let's talk a little bit about qui que ce soit in comparison. So qui que ce soit, kind of, rather than meaning celui qui, the one who, this one's more kind of like n'importe quelle personne. It doesn't matter which person. Qui que ce soit. Okay? Anybody. Yeah? Rather than sort of whoever, whichever, the one who. Anybody at all. Okay? So you can use it on its own. So we've got a lovely example. So quelqu'un balayera l'escalier. Hang on, I need to make my eyes bigger. Quelqu'un balayera l'escalier, qui que ce soit, si tu en parles à qui que ce soit. Yeah, so whoever sweeps the stairs, whoever sweeps the stairs, whoever it might be, qui que ce soit, use it as a throwaway. Si tu en parles à qui que ce soit, if you speak to whoever, I will know about it. So like I was saying earlier, quiconque can come after a preposition, but to whoever, like whichever person there, that's quite nice as well. Si tu parles à qui que ce soit, So for my mind, like I was saying earlier, at the end of a sentence, qui que ce soit sort of sounds less formal, but at the beginning, it sounds more formal. It's ever so peculiar. Good. So, cela ne signifie pas que la liberté de la presse implique une totale liberté d'offenser qui que ce soit. Cela ne signifie pas que la liberté de la presse implique une totale liberté d'offenser qui que ce soit. This is not to say that freedom of the press should mean total freedom to cause offence. So, strictly speaking, implique une totale liberté d'offenser, to offend qui que ce soit, to offend whoever. All right? So, again, we've got a whoever there, anybody. Okay? Notice we've gone directly from offenser into qui que ce soit. We didn't need a, we didn't necessarily just need a preposition there. What have we got again? Let's just scroll up. Il a affirmé qu'il ne savait souvent pas sur qui il tirait, ou même s'il savait, s'il avait atteint qui que ce soit. Okay, yeah. So, il a affirmé qu'il ne savait souvent pas sur qui il tirait, ou même s'il avait atteint qui que ce soit. So, I would translate that as he confirmed that he didn't often know who he had shot at, okay, and if he had hit qui que ce soit, whoever it might be. He said that often he did not know who he was shooting and if anyone was killed, yeah. Vous êtes libre de choisir qui que ce soit. Vous êtes libre de choisir qui que ce soit. You can choose whoever you want. Yeah, so I'm liking qui que ce soit at the end. Qui que ce soit, whoever it might be. Good. Down again. Somebody décline expressement toute responsabilité en cas de violation de ces restrictions par qui que ce soit. So they decline all any liability in case of violation of these restrictions by whoever it might be. Yeah. So again, we're seeing it after a preposition. We're seeing it at the end of the sentence. So far, our big winners tend to be qui que ce soit at the end, quiconque at the beginning. For me, just sounding a little bit more, more common. But we're not, I just want you to be used to hearing both of them. All right. But let's carry on down. Let's go to. So I'm not looking to accuse anyone. Je cherche pas accuser qui que ce soit. All right. So we the majority of these that we are seeing with qui que ce soit is obviously not qui que ce soit doing a verb. So if that already helps you decide which one you're going to use between quiconque and qui que ce soit, like I keep saying. All right. Let's have a little look at quelconque then. So quelconque, first thing to say about quelconque is not going to change in spelling because all of the times you've used quel in French, so quel jour, what day, quelle couleur, what colour, lequel, laquelle, lesquels, in any of these concepts, you have changed the spelling of quel. You've not changed the pronunciation, but you've changed the spelling. Q-U-E-L, Q-U-E-L-S for the masculine plural, Q-U-E-L-L-E, Q-U-E-L-L-E-S for the feminine plural. Quelconque stays the same. Yeah, stays the same. Okay, it doesn't need you to pop, change the spelling of the L, Q-U-E-L, C-O-N-Q-U-E, one word, right? So the differences between quelconque and quiconque is that quelconque, everybody thinks it's like, so quiconque is kind of like whichever and quelconque is kind of whatever. But the point is, quelconque, no. Quelconque is more of an adjective. Yeah, much more of an adjective. So people go, so if quiconque could kind of become n'importe qui que ce soit, does quelconque become n'importe quoi, doesn't matter what, or quoi que ce soit? And the answer there would be no. Side note, I told you this was complicated. This was an advanced video. There is a video I've done which is called QUICONQUE ce soir, and a video on QUICONQUE and QUI space que. QUICONQUE, one word, kind of functions like bien que, although, followed by the subjunctive as well, whereas QUICONQUE ce soir is like whatever it might be as an expression, all right? So, and quelconque, for my mind, the difference is, actually sometimes takes on a slightly negative quality, kind of like a bland quality, yeah? It will take on a bland quality. Like, you know, whatever. Like the word whatever does, really. Like, nah, not so bothered. So it can be neutral, or it can be a little bit, you know, pejorative or a bit negative. So indeterminate, I would say, indeterminate. So considérez un homme quiconque. Sorry, what am I on about? Considérez un homme quelconque. Like, consider just any random man. Okay, un homme quelconque. There it's neutral. Yeah? If you said considérez un homme quelconque, so if you're asking someone to do something and think of something or a number, you know, you could say choisissez, you know, un numéro quelconque. You could pick whichever number. That would work. Yeah? If you use quelconque with a noun, it kind of gives that noun a bit of a fail quality. So, so if you said considérez un homme quelconque, like imagine any man, he'd say exactly the same thing. If you said like c'est un homme, you know, quelconque, then that's kind of a bit more bland, no real special qualities that make him stand out, you know, a bit fail. Nondescript, I suppose the word would be. Ordinary, bland. Cette chemise est très quelconque. You know, this shirt is a bit underwhelming, a bit, you know, whatever, a bit bland. This suit is, ce costume est très quelconque. This suit is very, yeah, this suit is very, you know, nothing special. Okay, you looking for a wedding dress? Oui. Oh, alors moi j'adore cette robe. Oh, I like this robe. Non, 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 pour moi, enfin, la robe est un peu quelconque. It's like a bit whatever, okay? So let's look at some examples of quelconque. So like I said, we've got this neutrality of whichever, if you needed to make a choice, whichever. So a neutrality of choice versus the negativity, the pejorative nature of like a slight criticism for being a bit bleh. So let's have a look. So si pour une raison quelconque, vous ne pouvez pas assister au spectacle, prévenez-nous. So if for whatever reason, you can't attend the show, get in touch. Choisissez 6 nombres quelconques entre 1 et 49. Choose 6 numbers, whatever, whichever numbers between 6 and between 1 and 9. Okay. Good, excellent. I am just going to go to the bathroom, so I will stop this video and I'll be right back.